Hello and welcome to PETRHA's Start Page, the place where you can learn and evaluate your skills in clinical reasoning. This is the place where you can browse several menus and options that we will discuss in this video. First of all, select the interface language: English, Spanish, French, or Portuguese. PETRHA is designed to join all European students of physiotherapy and beyond. After getting your permissions from your school administrator, fill the fields and press Connect to enter. Now you can click on My Account to modify some personal data. You can also click on My Follow-up to see your play statistics, or click on Clinical Cases to choose one and play. Let's click in My Account. In this menu, you can modify your password and choose your avatar. Are you a woman or a man, dark or blonde hair, maybe without hair? Here are the options for avatar. We return to PETRHA's Start page, and now, if you choose My Follow-up, you can see your play statistics, number of clinical cases played, and mean score of the different parts of the game. Also, you can see your specific performance in each case by clicking Details. Oops, I think you have to improve your diagnosis and objective scores. We return again to PETRHA's Start page, and now, if you choose Clinical Cases, you enter the clinical cases list. Which one do you want to play? If you click on one clinical case, you will have a little description about the patient's problem and the clinical case's topics. Do you like this? Okay, let's play. You only have to click on the Start button. This clinical case will develop at the physiotherapy office, but you can find some other places like a hospital room or a gymnasium. On the left border of the screen, you can see the structure in order of the three main steps of the video game: research, diagnosis, and objectives or goals. We will start for research. This is the anamnesis process, and we have three different folders to obtain the patient's information: interview, clinical history, and clinical exam. You must explore all three. If not, your diagnosis and objectives proposal will be incorrect. You can move freely into these three research folders. On the top of the screen, you have a clock that measures the time you spend resolving the clinical case, but this will not harm or benefit your score. It will only be a tool to compare the performance between two students that resolve a case with the same score. On the right of the clock, you have the notes. This is a notepad, so what is exactly this notepad? The notepad is your memory tool to register the information that you think is relevant to resolve the clinical case. Attention, this is very important. All the information you obtain during the research that you think is relevant, you have to register on the notepad. If you don't, your score of collected data, score of diagnose, and score of goals, and even your final score will be lower. But don't worry, this will all be explained very soon. On the right of Notes, you have the remaining action points. It starts in 100, and during the research, each time you add a note to the notepad, you use one action point or action credit. So you have to find the balance between introducing all the information in the notepad or don't introduce nothing because the number of action points is limited. Remember, you must introduce all the information you think is relevant to resolve the clinical case. On the right corner, right on top, you have the exit to quit the clinical case when you want. So let's continue playing. Click on what do you want to do first, the interview, to take a closer look to the clinical history, or to do the clinical exam. Do you have any doubts? Okay, so let's start with the interview.